Okay, so in this video, we are going to do another comparison. It is going to be the Apple iPad 9 that I have here to the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8. I've actually gotten a few people request this video, so here we go. Let's jump in. Now, first things first, let's go ahead and do a price breakdown, because these people asking for me to make this video are people who are considering picking up a budget tablet. So starting off with the iPad 9 here, you can pick this guy up for $330. That's the regular price if you're going through Apple or, one of those official retailers, right? Even if you were to go with like Walmart at regular time, it would be $330. But as of the shooting of this video, this guy here is running at $309 at Walmart. Now, I haven't seen anything cheaper than that. Generally, it doesn't drop as much as, Android tablets. So that would be the price for this guy here. So between 309 and 329 or 330. Now, if you want to go ahead and add an Apple Pencil first generation, that's going to cost you another $100. Simply meaning that if you're looking for more of a comprehensive package, of a full package, you're looking at shedding about, between $410 to $430 for this ND Pencil. Now, if you were looking at these two tablets and having a pen or having a stylus is crucial for you, then I guess you should just stop watching this video and just go buy an iPad 9 here. Now, this guy here does not support, that's simply what it means. It does not support a stylus, but you can use a capacitive pencil and be able to use it on this guy here. The problem is it's not that optimized, right? So the user experience on here using a native pencil from Apple will be much better than what you would have here. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump onto this one. This is, of course, the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8. It is the latest budget by Samsung. It's a nice tablet. It will run you $230, but as of now, I believe Samsung is still running that promotion where you can pick it up for $180. And as I mentioned, it supports a capacitive pencil. Well, it would support a capacitive pencil, but it doesn't have a native pen or a native stylus on its own, right? And you can pick up a capacitive pencil for like what, 10-15 bucks off of Amazon. So if you were to grab this at regular price, it would run you $230 plus a $15 for a capacitive pencil. So if you don't really care for a pen, you can always go ahead and grab this one. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump on design here, starting off with the iPad 9, simply because it's something that looks familiar, right? If you've seen the iPad 8 or the iPad 7 or the iPad 6 and so forth, then you know that it's the same look. You have that same look that you had on those previous iPads, right? It's that same legacy look that many people hate and many others simply don't mind it. But let's start off with some of the physical features that we have here. You have your power button, or your hold button, like they call it. So power button, volume rocker there. At the bottom, you have two speakers right next to each other. That's not great placement for speakers, right? But anyways, they sound decent. They're okay. You have the lightning port, which is still, Apple insists on using that on the tablet. You have the 3 pins for the case keyboard that Apple makes for this tablet here. Again, native, so it blends, it works very, very well with a tablet itself. Of course, at the top, you have the mics and all that good stuff, and you have a headphone jack, which is always good, especially for things like budget tablet. People who are generally budget conscious, they're not necessarily looking to buy the latest headphones or the latest Bluetooth headphone to use with that. Generally they might have something that they want to plug in, or even just a mic. If you have a mic that you want to plug in, you can always use the headphone jack for that. Now let's go ahead and switch over to the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8 here. We're going to cover the physical features as well. Power button, same stuff as on the iPad there. Now, in terms of speakers, you have 4 speakers there, definitely louder than what you have on the iPad 9 here. And also there is a headphone jack on the Galaxy Tab A8 here. You do have a USB Type-C port on this tablet here, on the Tab A8. And that is very important because it is simply a standardized port, right? And what that means is you'll be able to use most, or at least a good chunk of accessories on the market are made to fit USB Type-C ports, right? Because again, that's very standard. Whereas with the Apple stuff, you have to buy proprietary Apple accessories or third parties, but they are still a little bit more expensive than what you would find have USB Type-C ports. So I just figured I'll go ahead and add that. Then you have, of course, the mics around the thing. Now, the one thing I didn't talk about was the camera. On here, you have an 8 megapixel rear-facing camera. That's the main camera there. It's decent, right? On here, you also do have an 8 megapixel rear-facing camera, and I'm going to say the camera on the Galaxy Tab A8 is slightly better than what you have on the iPad 9 here in terms of saturation mostly, right? Now, in terms of the front-facing camera on the Galaxy Tab A8 here, you have a 5 megapixel front-facing camera, which is, you can make video calls and things like that, but you just need to make sure, like I always say, that the setting that you're in is very well lit in order for people to clearly see, or in order to eliminate all of the noise patterns that you would have in the picture quality. Now on the iPad 9, on the other hand, you have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and that is major, especially in this era where we do a lot of video calls, right? So that 12 megapixel camera is very nice, and because it's an ultra wide camera, it can actually zoom out, and so it does support center stage, meaning as you are interacting with people, not necessarily interacting, but let's say you're having a meeting, a video call, and you have more people joining the call, then the camera, what it does here automatically is that it zooms out to let more people in, and it actually even adjusts as you are moving within the screen. It would adjust to make sure that you stay within frame. So that is something that is very nice. One thing that I did forget, which I don't know how, because this is my favorite thing about the iPad 9, is that we have Touch ID at the bottom there. That is one of the best features that Apple has ever come out with, and there's a general consensus out there that simply agrees with that, right? It's so nice, it's super secure, and it's so quick at unlocking your tablet here. Now let me go ahead and quickly brush over the display here. What we have on the iPad 9 is a 10.2 inches Retina IPS display, as Apple likes to call it. You're looking at a resolution of 1620 by 2160, but on the other hand, what you have on the Galaxy Tab A8 here is a TFT display, right? So it's not as premium of a display as what you have on the iPad here. And not only that, you do have peak brightness that is slightly lower on the Tab A8 versus what you have on the versus what you have on the iPad 9 here. It is much brighter than it is here, because the resolution here is 1200 by 1920, I believe. In terms of nits, I don't remember exactly, but I could definitely tell you that it's not as bright as the iPad 9 there. Now, in terms of just the picture quality also, the iPad 9 definitely has a better looking picture quality. Pictures seem to be, images seem to be a lot sharper than what you have on the Galaxy Tab A8 here. Now, let's go ahead and jump onto performance. And by the way, if you're enjoying the content so far, make sure to hit both the like and the subscribe button there. All right, so in terms of performance, let's start off with the iPad 9. What you have here is an 813 Bionic chip, right? It is coupled with 3 gigs of RAM. It offers a super impressive GPU performance, even better than the previous generation, right? Sure, we were expecting it to be better than the previous generation, but it is much better than what we actually expected. So great, fantastic GPU performance. So if you were looking to buy a budget tablet so that you can either play games or maybe just edit videos, this would be the one to go for without any questions when compared to this guy here. And it also comes with a standard 64 gigs of internal storage if you were going for the base model, right? So 64 gigs of internal storage, and I believe the next grade or the next trim up will be 256 gigs for like $480. I could be wrong, but that's the, that's pretty much the configs that you have available there. And as I mentioned, it does have 3 gigs of RAM, and that's actually the same as the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8 in terms of RAM, right? You get 3 gigs of RAM here, but the base storage here is 32 gigs of internal storage. Now, it doesn't stop there though. You have 32 gigs of internal storage, but you do have the ability to expand that storage from 32 at up to 1 terabyte using a micro SD card, so that you can, you can just stick that in this tablet and you still have your 1 terabyte, storage space available in your tablet. That's something that you cannot do with this. So if you buy this 64 gigs base, sure, it's higher than the 32 gigs that you get here, but you cannot go past that unless you, of course, you carry with you some accessories with that same port that you can use, or if you, of course, use the cloud for storage, then that way, obviously you'll be good to go. But with this guy here, even though it's half the storage that you get here to start off with, you can always expand that at up to, like I mentioned. And this guy here is loaded with a Unisoc chipset. Decent performance, 3 gigs of RAM here with a Tiger T618, and then you also have 3 gigs of RAM here with an Apple A13 Bionic chip. So when it comes down to day-to-day tasks, sure, you'll be able to do them without any problem, checking your emails, navigating the internet, and all that good stuff without any, noticeable issues. But once you start going a little bit heavy, obviously this guy is a mile ahead. It's way better in terms of just power. So the iPad 9 is just so freaking powerful when compared to this guy here. So when it comes down to anything heavy, you would have to go for the iPad 9 here because it just plows through things like nothing. Now the iPad is going to be able to handle some level of multitasking, right? So you'll be able to do some things in split views and all that good stuff. The Galaxy Tab A8, on the other hand, actually does multitasking a little bit better than the iPad 9 that you have here. But the only problem is that it's not really that powerful to take it to that next level that you would find on, let's say, something like the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8, right? But again, the user experience, when it comes down to multitasking, will still be slightly better than it is here, because on the iPad 9, the multitasking is just going to feel like you're multitasking on the iPhone or something, because it's that same user, the same GUI, right? It's the same interface that you're interacting with, but that's just one thing I wanted to highlight there. So if you're looking for something very powerful, obviously you should just go ahead and pick up the iPad 9. But if you're looking for something very budget and you don't care for all of the extra stuff that I'm highlighting here, obviously go for the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8 here. Let's go ahead and talk battery. In terms of battery, it's gonna be pretty subjective, right? Now, brand new, the battery is actually pretty good on either one of these tablets, right? But anyway, let's go ahead and cut this video short. So it's not a true apple to apple comparison. No pun intended there, but not a true apple to apple comparison here. But they do share something in common though. They are both called budget tablets. So somehow they are still in the same category. And I can see why some people out there may be wondering which one to go for. So you just have to narrow down what you were looking for to just a few things, right? That will help you make that decision. If you're looking for the most powerful budget tablet that you can get your hands on, and you're watching this video, you don't even need to get this far. Just get the iPad 9. It is hands down, in terms of raw power, it actually competes with some Android flagships. Like, it is that powerful. But again, that's that very raw power that is, very well used, but in a way where you just focus it on one thing, right? And by that, I mean, this guy here, the A8, is not particularly powerful when compared to this guy, right? So when you're comparing to the iPad 9, it doesn't look as powerful, but you're able to do a bunch of different things. If you're looking for raw power, it is this guy. If you're looking to just save money and you're gonna be just using your tablet for watching movies, watching videos, and things like that, you should go for the Galaxy Tab A8. And again, to reiterate what I said earlier, if you're looking for something with a stylus that supports a stylus, then you go ahead and go for the iPad 9 here. If you don't care for a stylus, you don't care for a pen, you want to buy a capacitive pencil for like 10 bucks that you can use here because you won't be doing much drawing, you won't be doing much, taking down notes, then you should go for this. So it comes down to how much money do you want to spend? If you have 200 bucks and you're looking for a tablet, this will be a good choice because you might be able to find it somewhere for $200, and it is a good tablet. It's going to be supported for, up to 3 years, while this guy is going to be supported up to 5 years. These are some of the things. By the way, this is not a comprehensive take on either one of these tablets, right? So there's going to be a lot of things that I don't cover in this video. If you need to take a look at the full review of either one of the tablets, make sure to check out the videos that I made on them. So I don't want people to go in the comment section and be like, well, you didn't even say this, you didn't say, I know the only reason I didn't cover all that is because it would make the video even longer, right? So anyway, so if you're looking for something just budget, just go for this. If you're looking for the best budget tablet that can offer you the top level performance, this is the guy to go for. That's just my take. Let me know what your questions in the comment section. I will catch you in that comment section, and while you're doing that, make sure to hit both the like and the subscribe button. I'm also going to catch you in the next video, of course. As always, up until that next video, stay safe out there.